In this video, I'm going to show you how to add text and actually extrude or extrude cut it onto a sphere. So I'm going to open up my sphere ornament. All right. Now, if I try to sketch on the surface, it's not going to let me because it's a curved surface. So if I click here, it's not letting me select anything. I have to make a work plane. So I'm going to click on the drop-down menu. I'm going to go down to tangent to surface and parallel to plane. I'm going to open up my origin. I'm going to choose my XY plane. And I want to be right at the front of my ornament here. Okay. Now I can go into my sketch. I can click on my work plane. And there. Now I can make a text field. Now, it's a good idea to make your text all in capital letters, and that will become clear in a minute or two. So I'm just going to write text. I'm going to make it bold. I'm going to make it maybe 0.4 inches tall. And I'm going to click OK. All right. Now, if I want to make sure this was exactly centered, I could go back into my text field, highlight it all, and make it centered vertically and horizontally. And then use my vertical constraint to make the midpoint vertical to the origin, and my horizontal constraint to make the midpoint here horizontal with the origin. Good. Now, it's also very important that it does not extend beyond the sphere that you're actually going to be putting the text on. Okay. So I'm going to click. Now, before I click Finish Sketch, I'm going to click on my text one more time. I'm going to right click and I'm going to convert to geometry. And this is so you're limited in the fonts. You need a font that has the outline because a lot of these are just simple lines and you can't extrude just a line. So the one that seems to be pre-installed on most Windows computers is Times Out. It's Times New Roman outline. Okay, so I'm going to click OK. All right. So that's the text that will appear. All right. So now I can finish my sketch. Now I can't use emboss. Now if this was a cylinder, I'd be able to use that. I actually have to make a 3D sketch. And I need to project to surface. So I want to project onto this face. And I want to do these curves. If I hit apply, you'll be able to see it wraps. Now, since this is a sphere, it will try to wrap all the way around. You can see it's kind of backwards on the back. Okay, this is why it's important to make sure it's not wider than your sphere. Otherwise, it'll end up looking like this, and it'll be all smeared and smushed together. So, once you're happy with that, once you hit apply, cancel out of this. All right. Now I'm going to finish my sketch. Okay. And right now, my work plane and my original text is in the way. So I'm going to right click on my work plane and I'm going to turn off visibility. And I'm going to do the same thing for my sketch 4 here, turn off visibility. Now I'm just left with what's on the sphere. Now I can't extrude this. Okay, I can't emboss it. And I can't even I have to do split first. And then I can use my thicken and offset. So I'm going to split. So I'm going to go one letter at a time. So I'm going to click on this and then what face? The sphere. And I'm going to click OK. Now, the rest of it disappears. Don't worry. Click on the plus sign next to your first split. Right click on your first 3D sketch and turn on visibility again. Now you can go back to your split. You can go to your E or whatever your next letter is. Okay, for the face, I want this face and OK. Then I go to my next letter on this face. OK. And then my next letter. So you have to do this for each letter that you have. In this face. Okay. So now those four are now a sketch that I can thicken and offset. So I'm going to choose this. I'm going to choose my T, choose my, all right, let's try this one at a time. I want to cut it. I want it to cut it inward, and I want to cut it 0.02. Okay. All right, I'm going to do the same thing for my E. Cut it inward. 0.02 is there. Okay. Thicken and offset my next letter. Cut inward. And then I'm going to do my last one here. And cut inward. Okay. Now, if I want to see what that looks like, I can go to my original 3D sketch, 3D Sketch 1, and turn off visibility. And now you can see the text is on there. And don't worry, what was on the back is clear. So you could put something on the back as well. Okay. And so that's how you can put text onto a sphere object.